All right, with this West 2 Facebook Live update, Chief Meteorologist Tony Manolfi. Hope you guys are having a good Thursday. Boy, we had a lot of rain through the interior. That's winding on down, and now we've got a lot to talk about with our Invest 97 that is approaching the southeastern tip there of Cuba. Let's get right to that, and then we'll get into the local radar here. That's a look at what's going on. The 8 o'clock tropical weather update just came in. And you can see the chances for development in the short run have now gone up to 40% in the next 48 hours. And you can see the development over the next 7 days being maintained at 70%. In the short run, you can clearly see what's going on. It is over land or interacting with land. And that's going to keep this one in check at least over the next 24 to 36 hours. From there, then we'll have to watch the Florida Straits as we head into Saturday. And then Sunday and Monday, as things begin to edge along the west coast there of Central Florida. Roberto Benini has moved in. What you need?
We're good?
You're good.
Perfect.
Go enjoy your dinner.
Bye.
Guys are always checking in. I love that about them before they take on off, just to kind of make sure there's no active weather. Roberto, enjoy your dinner. Marion, Bob, Terry, Lonnie, good to have each and every one of you good folks in here. Elizabeth Hunt, always a regular as well. Rose Chef, Sharif DeBoard, good to have you there. All right, so there's the look at the wave. Certainly getting a little bit better organized as it's moving off to the west-northwest. Let's do this. I want to show you some of the scenarios, some of the tropical models here. I'm going to load in a couple of scenes real quick. Just give me a second, and we'll get this puppy underway. All right, so here's, again, the global models. The GFS is now in and is inching back more towards the east. You're about to see that here in a second. Chris Pierce, yep, tropics are definitely keeping me busy. There's the green line. We're going to be keeping an eye on the other global models as well here as they roll in over the next few hours. Now, that's the global models. I wanted to show you the tropical models. The tropical models are just a shade more towards the west compared to the global models. And if you really break this down, one of my favorite graphics that we have for you today is this particular graphic, where you can see there's a left edge and a right edge of those tropical models. Again, the global models are on the right side, or the eastern track there. In fact, the GFS is almost parallel to the I-4 corridor, or just west of it there. So that's one of the things we're going to be watching. So tracks there on the western envelope. It means a less of a severe weather threat and less of a flooding threat for us, whereas those tracks on the eastern side give us a more distinct chance for flooding and a greater risk for severe weather, i.e. tornadoes, to develop. And that's, of course, one of the things that we're obviously concerned with when it comes to any tropical system, with us being on the eastern side. One thing that I might add, and this is a biggie, I think I'm going to speed up this timeline at the end. Instead of Sunday, Tuesday, I think I'm going to go Sunday, Monday, and I'm going to show you why here in just a second. A lot of the models are speeding things up here in comparison to where we were earlier. In fact, let me show you the, let's see, do I have? I got an animation I want to show you guys. Hold on. I gotta find it here, but there's your timeline. Again, toying with speeding up the tail end. All right, so here we go. I found it. Here's your animation. I want to show you something. The tropical models, here's what the tropical models are doing. So it's spot on right now, right over the Dominican Republic and Haiti. So I'm going to stop it at a certain time. That time is going to be noon on Saturday. Look at noon on Saturday there, folks. You can see already either off the northwest tip of Cuba or pushing over the Florida Straits. So from there, here's what we have. We've got 11 a.m. on Sunday. Look at those models now. 11 a.m. on Sunday, many of them either due west or just to the southwest of Tampa Bay. So that's a little bit quicker than some of the earlier runs. And it's moving pretty quickly, as we showed you, 21 miles an hour. Now from there, here's a look at Monday. That's, I'm going to go to 5 a.m. Let me just go to, actually, let me go to 7. There's 7 a.m. Look at where they are. They go from the Big Bend up towards almost and over the Georgia-Florida line. That's 7 a.m. Monday. If that speed is correct, and that's what the GFS has been kind of hinting at here today, a little bit quicker. And there you can see it by Tuesday, 8 p.m., it's pulling away. Now, sometimes what you can get with these tropical features, and this is the one thing we really got to be careful with, even though a system could be pulling away, sometimes that envelope of tropical moisture can linger in the wake of a passing storm, and it depends on the orientation of the storm. So we'll have to watch that. A lot of you have asked about the intensity. That's another great, really good question. So here's the thing. If the models do stay out over the eastern Gulf of Mexico, like the tropical models are assuming, then we would get a hurricane. If the GFS is correct and the European are correct, we would not have a hurricane. We'd have a depression or a tropical storm with a lot of rain because it's closer to us, and that's the one thing that we would have to watch. So that's the kicker there. Storms that stay over the Gulf, the tropical models, you could have a hurricane. Now, the global models, which are now inching over the western side of the Florida Peninsula and very close to Orlando here this evening, would mean not a hurricane, a tropical depression and or a tropical storm. Let me show you that model comparison just with the two global models. There's the Euro. Saturday, it's got that feature in between Havana and Miami. The GFS is just to the south and east of Havana. And then when we go to Sunday, there it is. Sunday, it is closing in on Tampa on the GFS. The Euro, very weak in the same vicinity. And then look at that. There's Monday. GFS, Southeast Georgia, Euro, North Florida, and then on into Tuesday. You see what the GFS is doing there? It does have some lingering moisture there, and that's what we call sometimes the tropical tail. It's one of the things we call a tropical tail. The Euro near the South Carolina-Georgia border, and then lifting up to the north and the east, and then pulling out. So that's one of the things we're going to have to watch. Now, this is an interesting model. This one did very, very well with the track barrel into Texas. I want to show you this model. So it's right on spot. It's got it right over the Dominican Republic, which pretty close. It's not too bad. There's your spin right over Cuba. There's Friday, 8, 9, 10, 11. Coming out over the northern tip there of Cuba through the Florida Straits. There it is near the Keys, 10:30 in the morning on Saturday. There's your spin now. It's just southwest of Fort Myers, kind of hugging the coast. If anything, lifting up towards the northeast. This model only goes out until Sunday morning. Notice that. That is a turn much sooner than many of our other models. So right over Fort Myers, and then Osceola and Brevard County through Sunday afternoon. So that's also quicker. That is also quicker. Rainfall amounts. Let me show you this. Here's the Euro. Euro is going with 3 to 5 inches of rain. Let me just work through this, and then I'll take some of your questions. I know a lot of you are throwing questions, but I want to get the pertinent information out to you guys ASAP before we lose you. I know you guys have things you're doing there and things you want to do, so just give me like another couple minutes here. So the Euro, a lot of rain, 3 to 5. Not as much as yesterday, though, but still a lot of rain. GFS, this just updated. It used to be green on the eastern side. Now the model is on top of the I-4 corridor with anywhere from 3 to as much as 8 inches of rain up and down the I-4 corridor. That's the GFS, which is adjusted more towards the east. And for me, my biggest concern again is flooding right now. If it stays close to us, it's going to be a weaker system, but it could bring a lot of rain. Let me show you a different scenario of rainfall amounts, and this was pretty good. This is what we call the Weather Prediction Center, although I think this is going to have to adjust a teeny bit more to the east if the global models are correct, but you can see it's doing a good job. 4 to 6. It's got 7 to 10 along the west coast because that's where the majority of the tropical models are. So that's another thing to watch. Either way you slice it, here's the takeaway. Okay, there's going to be a lot of rain, and with the prospects for a lot of rain, flooding is going to be possible, I think, Sunday, and even potentially on into Monday. Now, the orientation of the green and the yellow here may switch depending upon this exact track going forward, but the bottom line is There's just going to be a lot of rain. We're going to have to watch things very, very carefully. One of the other things I like to show, and you guys that watch me each and every night know that when I'm in the tropical mode there, I like to show the water vapor channel because it shows where the deeper moisture is. So there's Cuba. You can see a little blue dot right there between Havana, the Keys, and Miami. That is 2:30 Saturday. Look at that now, right over the I-4 corridor, right over, along and just west of I-4, then spinning up towards Jacksonville by 8 p.m. Sunday, and then up towards Myrtle Beach, South Carolina by noon on Monday, and then sitting there for a little bit, and then getting pulled to the north and the east. And behind this one, no real significant development. A couple waves do come across there, but nothing right now that looks like it's going to develop. Let me show you the Euro. Here's the European computer model, and this as well shows a little bit weaker feature. Still a little blue there by Tampa as we get deeper into Monday night and Tuesday. So the Euro might be just a little bit slower than the GFS, but it's doing the same thing. It's just kind of sitting there. It doesn't pull off to the northeast like the GFS is. That would be a big time problem for Savannah, Hilton Head, Myrtle Beach. That would produce some significant flooding. The side by side, I know a lot of you are big fans of this. There you go. There's the GFS up to the north and the east, kind of spinning around through the Carolinas, and then the Euro has a little weak feature there off the Carolina coast. So for me, the time frame I think to watch is looking more and more like Sunday and Monday, not so much Tuesday, because things are moving. So we'll watch that. Sean wants to know about the winds. I don't want to do the winds just yet. I just think it's too far out, and I don't want to show winds when we're not locked in yet. I think this time tomorrow night I'll start showing the winds. I just think it's smart to get a couple more runs in, get some of that data from the hurricane hunters in there, and then once we start getting a better position on the storm, then to go ahead and show the forecast winds. The only thing that I'll show right now, again, with regards to the wind intensity, is going to be this particular graphic that I showed just a couple moments ago. There's based on the tropical models. You've got most of them as a tropical storm, one or two of them with a depression. So South Florida looks like Jeff's going to get a lot of rain. Karen Beach, good to have you there. Claremont, I think it's going to get a lot of rain. I think for me that's going to be the biggie. That's going to be the big concern here going forward. And the thing that is really a bit different, there's our in-house graph model. It's got that feature there coming in over towards Fort Myers. Sometime Saturday morning, and then build it off towards the northeast. So we'll have to wait and see how that shakes out. There's going to be a lot of rain, though, if that track verifies as well. The Keys, again, the Keys for me is going to be Friday, Saturday. There's your Keys. There's most of it's going to be Saturday. There's Saturday, and then some of it could linger Sunday morning before pulling up to the north and east, if the graph is right. So that's another thing that we're going to have to watch. Great question. Make it come Tuesday, says Denise. You must have something going on. Tut, tut. Yeah. A lot of rain. Bahamas, the Bahamas gets it Friday. That's a Friday deal for the Bahamas. And that fits the timeline here very, very, very well. Friday for the Bahamas, Saturday, Cuba to South Florida, Sunday, Monday. I'm gonna go ahead and change that. I'm feeling a little bit better about that. Let me go change that right now before I forget. Sunday, Monday. Make that change live on Facebook with you guys. Northport, a lot of rain. You know what? I don't think the bubble's going to be lasting much longer here with this thing coming our way, guys. So I think the days of the bubble for Brevard are about to burst. Look at all that rain. There's the Euro. Saturday, pretty weak feature there. Hugging the West Coast. There's your circulation due west of Orlando. Then Monday afternoon on up into Georgia. And then you can see Tuesday lifting up towards the northeast. So we'll watch that there. But I think as far as the heaviest rains and the heaviest if there's going to be any heavy winds. I think Monday, Tuesday is definitely going to be the time frame that you're going to want to watch. Again, for me, a lot of rain. A lot of rain. One other thing, let me just do while you're looking at that storms prediction center outlooks. Yeah, Monday, Tuesday. So today, yeah, doesn't have 4 to 8. Yeah, nothing yet with severe that far. But I gotta believe Sunday's going to be the day. I'm flying into Orlando on Tuesday. I think you're okay, Deanna, on Tuesday. If you were flying in Sunday or Monday, I'd be a bit more concerned. So Tuesday, I'm okay with. Inland poke, a lot of rain, Carol. Could be a little bit of wind. If the trend tonight stays the same where it comes inland along the coast sooner rather than later, it's a weaker feature. If it stays just offshore, then we could get a strong tropical storm or a hurricane, and I'd be a bit more concerned with severe weather with that type of track. So, Ocala, Myrna right now looks like a lot of rain. We're watching the severe weather potential. Nancy Octaviani has popped in as well. Great group in here tonight. I do appreciate you guys coming in. Please, if you don't mind, share this feed with your loved ones, your friends. We want to keep them in the weather know. Let them know that they can get the weather updates from us on these Facebook Lives in the morning with Eric at 8 and me at night in the evening. So don't worry about that. Leaving on a cruise from Miami Monday. I think Monday, I'm hoping it's going to be north of the port there on Monday. So I think it goes around Miami, at least based on what I'm seeing right now. Jojo, you're welcome. Linda Otten, you got it. Brevard, I think a lot of people are going to do well in the rainfall department. I feel pretty good about that based on the tracks I'm seeing. Just it's hard to pinpoint severe weather. That's a little bit tougher. So I don't want to go out on a limb. I want to when I make the call on that, I want to make the call. Doreen, Polk County, a lot of rain. Audrey, good to have you there. Shantae's in the house. Barb, Dominique, you're welcome. Ashley, Zekman, Palm Coast is in the house. She says Pensacola. If some of the tropical models are correct, then yes, and you could have a lot of wind. If a track goes to Pensacola or just to the Big Bend, I think you'll get some stuff. But most of the models are east of you, so I think you're going to be okay. Sultana, good to have you there. Nikki Cabrera, Lida Wallace, great group in here. Just love that. Mariel Hernandez, if it stays over the eastern Gulf and doesn't come ashore, I think there's a good chance. But the trend has been coming onshore or hugging the west coast of Tampa. So that, in theory, should be a weakening factor. So the storms on Thursday and Friday, by the way, are not anything to do with what's coming up out of the southeastern Gulf. That arrives Saturday night on the Sunday and then the first half of Monday. Joseph, you're welcome. Carlos, you're welcome. Linda's in the house. Good to have you there. If I missed you guys, the feed's going by incredibly fast. There's obviously a few more of you in tonight than the normal just because of what's brewing down in the tropics. So low 90s at the beaches, 93, 95 inland. Somebody wants to see the latest conditions down in the tropics in the Bahamas. I do have some satellite imagery in here. Let me show you this. Maria Sophia, Sadie Perry, Louis Diaz, thank you for all the info, says Deanna. Deanna, just doing my job. Just going to, show you guys what's going on. Again, I'm not seeing anything that screams, a major hurricane or anything like that for us. So that's the good news. There's a little bit of outflow here up top. And you can see the symmetry features right about here. And it's going to do something either like this. It's either going to go that way or it's going to go that way. Or up that way. So that's what we're going to be watching. So there's got a recent wind gust of 30 to 35 over towards Haiti. You can see right there. So nothing really too significant, but the waters are warm here. My biggest concern is this. My biggest concern is that this rides the northern side of Cuba, is over warmer water as opposed to the land. Now, if that track happens just to the north coast there of Cuba, then it could develop before it, either it comes ashore or moves into the eastern Gulf of Mexico. So something that we'll be ironing out here over the next couple of days. Kathy, I've been posting a lot to Twitter. A lot of people have a lot of requests, so that's kind of what I've been doing. Wave action, it's starting to grow, as you guys are, probably well aware of. There it is right there. You can see here. Let's do this. We've got, yeah. So there we go. So there's your wave heights, 6 to 7 feet. A little bit lower here. Now the islands kind of break up the wave action here, but I'm telling you, if you can get into that zone there by the Florida Straits, but in between Havana and Cuba, the wave action is going to increase and increase quickly. So that's one of my biggest fears. That it hugs the north coast, is over water, and not over the land of Cuba. So something that we'll be assessing, something that we'll be watching here over the next couple of days. So that's just a food for thought type of thing there. Down at Santa Maria, good to have you there. Somebody wanted to know about the water anomalies. So there you can see it's warm. The warmest waters east of the Windward Isles, just slightly above normal there on the north side of Cuba, and very warm there in the eastern Gulf of Mexico. So something we're going to be watching. Tony, keep posting on Twitter. Kathy, you're welcome. Yeah, I'll do them both. My style. Oh, there you go, Mickey. Maru, Ocala Shores. There we go. I am. There it is. All right. So let me go ahead and wrap it up. I got a ton of updates to do, and I want to get my intern in front of the chroma key here, as we may be limiting her time if we have development this week, and she only has about a week left to go. All right. So Friday, 60% chance for showers and storms. Saturday, 70%. Things picking up in the evening on into Sunday and Monday. Monday late, hopefully clearing on out. But, if the Euro's right, some of that moisture could be lingering on into Tuesday. I am going to have a whole slew of updates for you guys tonight at 10 and 11 on the CW18 and West 2 News. And, of course, I'll be right back here tomorrow night on Facebook Live if you can't make it there. But hopefully you will, because we want to keep you guys up to speed on those tropical models. All right, guys, you're a great group. Don't forget to share the feed. And we'll just keep an eye on this for you. Take it day by day. That's all we can do.